Hey Hatchlings, it's DragonFeather and welcome back to day 10 of our 31 days of Samhain, and for today we will be covering autumn offerings. So offerings are pretty common during this time of year and we like to offer things to the dead. And it's pretty common amongst practitioners of magic to do offerings or to give offerings to whatever spiritual beings they may choose to work with. However, it's different for everybody. Why do we leave offerings? Typically, we leave offerings as a way to show thanks, as a way to attract whatever being we're trying to work with, or to establish a better connection with whatever being we are trying to create a better relationship with. Offerings can be done in various forms and in endless ways. It's up to you what kind of offerings you'd like to give your deities, your guardians, guides, whatever, or whoever they may be. So like I said, offerings are going to be unique for each person and each practitioner, but for the most part, they are done in good faith with whichever guardian, guide, or whoever you're working with in the spiritual realm. Who do we leave offerings for? We leave offerings for deities, gods, goddesses, spirit animals, guardians, guides, ancestors. We also leave offerings for elemental beings and mythological creatures as well. And it's very common to do so when trying to initially start working with one of these beings, for example, like a dragon, a fairy, or a unicorn. Before you leave your offering for this day's exercise, we have some questions for you to answer first. So let's go over them. Question number 1 is, have you ever left an offering before? Why or why not? Yes, I have left offerings before many times, and I choose to do so for my dragons, my dragon guardians specifically. This way it helps me show gratitude to my guardians, and it allows me to give thanks to them, and by doing so, it's a gesture of kindness, a gesture of appreciation, and they really value that and they feel appreciated and more inclined to work with you as a result. Question number 2 is, what is your reason for leaving an offering today? My reason for leaving an offering today is I've been struggling with my practice a lot, and I tend to do so towards the late summer and the summertime. The summertime, that season is honestly the hardest season for me. For that reason, I'm leaving an offering to my guardians to show them that I'm still dedicated to this path, even though I've been struggling recently, and I leave the offering as a gift of thanks to show them I appreciate them sticking with me through my hardest time. The last question is, what offering will you be leaving and to whom? So I will be leaving some apple slices for a dragon guardian because apples are known as the fruit of knowledge. So I wanted to leave some apples for my guardians to give thanks to them for supporting me even when I am distant and lackluster in my practice. So if you're unsure what types of offerings to leave, here are some examples for you to try. If pumpkin carving isn't your thing, you can leave seeds as an offering. So you can either just roast the seeds and maybe cover them in spices that correspond with whatever deity you're offering them to, or you can just leave them as is and offer them that way. Fallen leaves, acorns, twigs, interesting little earth things that you find whenever you're walking outside make great offerings as well. It's also common to use seasonal fruits or veggies as offerings, as I am choosing to do so for this particular exercise. I find apples are really heavily tied to the season of autumn, and apple pies are so good, but apples and apple spices and pumpkins and pumpkin spices and any other seasonal fruits or veggies that you choose make great offerings as well. Another common offering is rainwater, and I actually do collect rainwater. I don't know if you can tell, but right here on my altar there is a giant jug of rainwater or storm water. I like to collect water when there's a thunderstorm because it's like all the elements are supercharged within it, and it's also supercharged with lightning. So it's really powerful, and for an offering for an air dragon or a storm dragon, this is a really nice way to say thank you and to show your appreciation. And one of my favorite ways of offering is incenses and burning smokes or resins or even special blends that you create yourself as offering, like an offering incense. I commonly offer cannabis, like burning cannabis on charcoal blocks mixed with other herbs as a form of an offering for dragons as well. So that's one of my favorite forms of offerings personally. So after you have done your offering and given your offering to your guardians or whoever you chose to give your offering for, these are the questions to answer afterwards. How did you find your autumn offering experience? Personally, when I offer things to my guardians, to my deities, and whenever I just do offerings in general, I feel like I'm taking an extra step to show them that I care and to show them that I want to help them however I can, and I want to be a partner in working with them rather than it being unbalanced by me taking and taking and taking and them not receiving anything from my end as well. When we offer things to people, you can offer things to people, but when we offer things to these beings that we choose to work with, it's really important that we establish the reason for doing so, and the reason why I usually do so is for gratitude, and that's why I feel like autumn is a great, perfect time to do offerings. Even though I think you should do them year-round, autumn time just seems to have an extra bit of magic behind it because it's the season to be grateful, in my opinion. Next question is, do you think your offering helped you in any way? Why or why not? I always think when I offer things to my guardians or whoever I'm offering to, it helps me out so much because it's a physical act of gratitude for whoever you're choosing to work with. It's a conscious effort to show whoever you're choosing to work with that you give a shit about them, that you care, that you're grateful, that you appreciate them, and that you are committed to working with them, and that the relationship you have between you and said guardian or whatever, or whoever, it just establishes this partnership between you, and it just like reinforces what you're already going for, if that makes sense. And the last question is, are you inclined to leave offerings in the future? Why or why not? Absolutely. I've been leaving offerings for a while now and will continue to do so throughout my practice because I do believe it's a great way to establish connections with deities and guardians, guides, or whoever it may be, especially our ancestors as well. I feel like it's very, very wonderful when we choose to offer things to our ancestors that maybe was their favorite food if we knew them, or maybe something that was traditional for that particular culture or whoever you're trying to connect with, and just making sure that you're conscious and aware of what you're doing, and you're doing so out of respect and out of genuine compassion for whichever being you choose to work with. So I will definitely keep doing so in my practice. But anyway, that's all for this particular challenge for today and our 31 days of Samhain. And if you guys want to learn more about autumn offerings, don't forget to check out the post made by one of the Hatchlings in the Hatchling Clan and get to know a little bit more about how you can choose to do offerings. And if offerings is something that piques your interest, it'll be great to have you over there and to learn some more. And if you are so inclined to join us, then please take this challenge, answer the questions, share your experience with us in a blog post over there, and we would love to hear how it went for you. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you guys have some snazzy autumn offerings to offer your fellow spirit friends. But anyway, I hope you guys have a great day. Sending you endless love and positive vibes always. Mwah. But until next time, stay geeky, cheeky, and freaky. You gotta stay freaky, little hatchling, you know. Why do I squish my face so much? I feel like that's like really common for me to do on my outros. I'm just like, hey, you just gotta stay a little freaky, okay? It's kind of a requirement, and I kind of just feel like it's becoming a thing now, so yeah. But until next time, blessed be, and bye guys.
And it's funny that you think that I'm different when we're both made of